JP and Chris aren't here. You guys come anytime.
Welcome to String Theory.
Howdy.
The live YouTube show every Wednesday night where you ask the questions and we give the pointless answers.
Nobody wanted.
And that nobody wanted.
And every show is different.
Every show is different.
Yeah. Very different.
Our special guest tonight, who just happens to be in town here doing some overdubs on an album we're working on, Mr. Dave Gunning.
Yeah, I had been sitting here anyway.
Brother Dave.
I mean, Ray.
Brother Dave, want to say a big shout out to our partners on the channel. Boucher Guitars over in Quebec, our good friends Robin, Guillaume, Julian, and the whole crew over there. Levy's Leather Straps, G&G Music, Glen Gotel, our good buddy. Yes, sir. Fantasy Music in Halifax, K&K Sound, best pickups in the world. Gallagher Guitar Company, right there, folks. Got their own beer cozies. Recording King Guitars, Alvarez Yeri. Thank you. I've been using this this wicked Honduran mahogany Yeri built in Kani, Japan at the custom shop. This thing is just ridiculous. I've used this for the whole record that we're making right now. And Yamaha Music Canada, bless your hearts, you guys are killer. James Martin Instruments, going to be reviewing that guitar next week now and have it back. Well, we'll play the show with you with it.
Yeah, it's a nice guitar.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful.
Audio Sprockets, Mr. James May, the Tone Dexter, and Diodario, Canada, the makers of this fine accoutrement. Yes, sir. And Brickhouse Guitars up in Kitchener, Ontario, our buddy, Roger Schmidt.
Yeah.
Joshua House, one of the best builders in Canada. Thank you, Josh. Apollo Picks and Tone Right. If you want your guitar to sound nice and bright, use a Tone Right.
For that real wood tone. What the? I think I might be sitting on it. I'm not sure. Anyway.
And Close Guitars, who I'm talking to right now. They're about to send me two.
Are you close talking?
Yes.
About guitars?
Yes, I'm talking with Close
Okay,
Guitars.
I just wanted to check and see if that was really what you were doing.
Yes, and also we should mention our other sponsor.
Oh.
Yes,
Ladies and gentlemen,
yes.
this evening's show is brought to you by Ginger's Garden Fresh Miniature Green Tomatoes.
Yes, exactly. Perfect for garnish.
Green tomato chow.
Not picking off the tree like a jerk
Yeah.
before it's ripe.
Not torching the one living tomato she had growing.
Yes. Yeah, not
Like an
wasting.
arsehole.
Yeah, not wasting the one opportunity to have a real tomato
Yeah.
actually be in your mouth. Instead, now it's just a wasted green nodule of crap.
Well, actually, it's an air freshener being around you. It's a welcome relief.
We'll just leave that there.
Okay.
What we
All
got?
right. Green Tomato the Clown. There you go.
Chow Chow the Clown.
Ginger green tomatoes.
Ginger green tomato.
Perfect for letting ripen.
Yeah, perfect for
Perfect for leaving the hell alone.
Yeah.
yeah, just perfect for leaving the hell alone.
Not touching.
So,
Ginger green is the best color.
Ginger green. This is a Christmas commercial.
Yeah.
We love you. Listening to all your comments and talking to all the people online every week.
Even the nasty ones.
Yes, but I still love them anyway.
Yeah.
And yeah, so here we are. Week 912.
Wednesday night.
That's right.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers. Cheers. Cheers.
Here's to you.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers, Ginger.
Cheers.
The
Oh,
lovely Ginger is in the house.
She is.
She is absolutely in the house. It's unimaginable that she wouldn't be here.
there'll be a week coming up shortly.
And
that I
there
won't
will be a
here.
week coming up shortly where she'll be gone, and Chris and I are probably going to have to
Just do stuff.
just do stuff.
Other stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could be bad.
We have an alumni award winner with us this
Yes,
evening.
we do.
Yeah. Our very
Yes.
own company nurse.
Yes. She has won a serious award.
Serious award.
Serious award.
Yeah.
And we have one of my favorite songwriters anywhere.
She's sitting over there.
Sitting right over there.
Oh, she's blushing.
Miss Jen Foote. working on album number 3 in the studio with me. We've been working on it all since Sunday. And Dave, that's why Dave's here. Dave's been down cutting harmony vocals on the record. It's just
He
deadly.
cut something.
Yeah, he cut something, but we're not sure what. He did get 7th place in CAF.
Yeah, Calf Club.
CAF Club.
I
Yeah.
don't like to brag about that, but
Yeah. 7th place in CAF Club in 4-H when he was
Got
9.
first placed in Bull.
Yeah. First question goes to,
It's a super chat from Jeff Gallant.
of course.
That's new, right? He's new.
Yeah, I've
He's
never heard of
definitely
him
new,
before.
yeah.
No, yeah.
I wonder where he's
Yeah.
from.
So he says, Brother John and Buddy Chris, have you considered getting Owen and Jerry from Pubnico, Nova Scotia on the show for a night? Love you guys.
Who
I
the
don't
hell?
know Owen and Jerry.
What do they
We
make?
know-
Ice cream?
Do we know? I think it's
Oh,
Ben
that's
and
Ben
Jerry.
and
not
Jerry.
Owen
Is that
and
like
Jerry.
Bill and Ted?
Yeah. Is that like Ish and Pish?
No.
Is that like Lambert and James?
Okay, moving on.
Is that
Okay.
like Benson and Hedges?
Next.
Is that like Flim and Flams?
Is that like Johnson and Johnson?
Oh dear.
Is that like Craig and Carmichael?
Seaman and Garfunkel.
Seaman and Garfunkel?
Thanks, Dave. I'm just going to have a relaxing beverage.
So there you go. I'm not sure who the hell Jeff's talking about. It's probably a loaded question just so we go off on a rant.
Probably. That won't
Next
happen.
question connects.
Next is from Joe.
Joe,
Uncle
brother Joe.
Hey, Joe.
How you doing, buddy?
Grandpa
Love you, buddy.
Joe.
Grandpa Joe. Actually, he might well be. I don't know.
Second y'all Joe.
Probably has 75 kids we don't know about. It's an
He
active
wants to
fella.
know if he can put steel strings on his cat.
This cat.
It depends on what kind of cat it is.
No,
Joe.
but you can make strings out of a cat
Yes.
for a guitar.
Gut
Put
string
your cat
guitar.
on a
Which
guitar.
I highly recommend. I
Yeah.
like cat gut.
Yeah.
We have 2 cats.
Stir fried isn't bad either.
That's right. They taste like chicken.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Next,
Oh dear. We got Darren Murray.
Darren Murray.
He must be new.
He must be have something good to say because
Yeah.
right now we're just going right in the tubes. Yeah. Who was that? Who was that? Who was the? Yeah. There's certain individuals that don't like all this cutting up. So
That's
gotta-
right. We should be more serious, JP.
Yeah. Yes, we should.
Well, at least answer
because,
some questions. It'd be.
We should actually.
Mom
do
is
some-
getting mad at
We
us
should,
again.
do, we should do something of substance,
that,
perhaps.
that is correct.
Tonight's program is brought to you by Weston's Butter Crisp Cookies.
I'm enjoying one right now.
That's right. Okay, next.
So Darren Murray.
Darren,
Oh, Darren Murray. Right. Okay.
Yeah, that's where we started. Yep. What can you suggest would be a decent acoustic amplifier that is reasonably priced?
there are none. You get what you pay for.
Well, actually, that's actually true. You can't. If you want an amplifier that's actually going to do the job that you want it to do, that you'll be happy with in every application, you're going to have to spend the $800 or so on getting a Fishman Artist. That's the only amp that I've ever used that actually works and
All the time.
All the time. If you were to buy a cheaper, if you spend $300 or $400 on an amplifier, you'll never be happy. It will work. It will make.
I had one of those Gorilla amps one time.
Oh
They
yeah.
were horrible.
Oh yeah.
It was called Gorilla.
Gorilla. Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah.
And you can't skimp on. There's certain things you can't skimp on, right? Amplifiers are one, strings are another, and
Talent.
talent. Yes. But seriously, if you want an amp, the Fishman Loudbox is the only thing I recommend. There's lots of other amps, and they're almost all of them more expensive than Fishman.
The tone controls don't go crunchy.
No, ever.
The DI Oat is fantastic. Sounds
Pristine.
great.
Pristine.
And always works and can rescue you from bad techie situations.
Yep.
And they're robust. They work
Yep.
all the time.
I had my first one for 10 years, or almost 10. Every Fishman I've gone through has actually passed on down to Bill Elliott. He has all of them.
You've been a much happier individual since you started using the Fishman amps.
Yeah, well, not only that, but I think amps in general, because when Dave and I work together, I don't use the amp because we have a different a different set of sound pressure when he and I work together.
Yeah, like you are my monitor and I'm your
Per-
monitor.
exactly.
Because we're close enough together on stage that
Yeah, but when I'm alone, I'm alone. The guitar is my buddy, right? So I have to have the guitar sound exactly the way I want it in my ear on stage, and I know I can never get that on monitors. So the amplifier just solves a multitude of problems, and like I said, you can't skimp on it. You might be able to get something that makes the guitar slightly louder, but that's not going to cut it.
No.
You need something that will actually boost the guitar to performance level,
Yeah.
have a powerful enough EQ and a powerful enough preamp and a good XLR out with your like post mix out.
the
right?
Fishman EQs are voiced just the right way.
Exactly.
They are.
Yeah. Those EQs have a Q on them, right? Like how wide,
How tight the filter is.
how
yeah.
tight the filter is, and they are completely engineered to be just the right Q on
Yeah.
each of the three bass, mid, and treble, right? So yeah,
Do Fender make one?
Fender. I've used the Fender acoustic,
Yeah, I've seen them.
Acoustasonic, or what do they
Right,
call it?
Yeah.
And it was a great. Fender makes great amps, and I love, like, my dream amp is a twin reverb, but they are very expensive. They cost about $3,000. I can't afford one, but the acoustic version is only $200 less than the Fishman, but it sounds good, but doesn't have the balls. I'm sorry, there's no other way to put it. It doesn't have the gumption, like
The drive.
it's rounded sounding.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have that point and projection that Fishman has.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what you plug into a Fishman, especially if you plug a K and K into a Fishman, man, you're hearing your guitar, and it's nice and edgy and cutting.
It's
and
got point, but it's not not harsh.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my advice to you. I just, that's one thing I would never skimp on, because it's the most important connection between you and your instrument. If you're in a loud or a stage environment or a loud environment, that's the only connection you've got. Is you can't hear your guitar acoustically, so you've got to be able to hear it the way you want it, and that'll inspire you to play better.
Yeah.
So there you go. Good question. That's never been asked, I don't think, really, in that way.
Yeah, we've talked about it, but I don't.
But
That is
not-
a good question.
Yeah, that's a good question. Cheers. Next.
We have a super chat from Ted Whitmore.
Ted
All right.
Whitmore.
Mr. Whitmore back again.
He's wondering when Joe's going to be on the show.
Joe is doesn't live here, and they don't travel very much. They're old and crotchety, those two.
They are
Joe
old
and
and
Bob,
crotchety.
and- yeah.
They're good to have around though when you need
Oh,
a dose of that.
Yeah, a good dose of that. Yeah.
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 So we don't know his answer.
It might never happen.
We shall see.
Connects.
We have a super chat from Jeff clearing up what were their names?
Otis and Jerry.
Owen and Jerry.
Ben and Jerry,
Flippy and Floopy.
Okay, not this again.
Okay, go ahead.
Flipper and Lassie.
He says they do maritime versions of top songs, and they're on YouTube.
I've never heard of them.
Interesting.
Jen's a little gassy over there.
It's Jack snoring over there.
Oh,
No, I've never heard of them, but I'll look them up. I'll look them up, see what they do. We didn't have Capo Corner today because I didn't have any good. I mean, lots of people talk to me, but mostly just we have lots of
Kaisers.
Capos.
This is
We have a
Jen's
shop.
Kaiser.
That is Jen's Kaiser.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't
I've
lose
never
that
seen
one.
that color before.
No, that's the pristine.
Must come from Toronto.
Yeah, that's the Toronto color.
Looks like it's from the center of the universe.
Yeah, Toronto.
Yeah, trauma.
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 Yeah.
That's what I
Oh,
call it.
Next.
Joe says he's hardly fragile. You want to go?
Next week will be very interesting, folks.
Stay tuned. Yeah.
We have a super chat from Ralph Prostica.
Oh, Ralph Prostica. He's
That's new.
No.
Damn.
sorry, Ralph.
Sorry, Ralph. We still love you.
Keepers. He says AER amps. Tony Emanuel uses them.
Yeah, I used them.
I was with you when we toured with one of them.
Yep.
And it was a beautiful sounding amp. It didn't have the same cut.
No, it doesn't cut through. It sounds fantastic. Sounds better than the Fishman, like tonally.
Yeah.
But it doesn't carry anywhere.
It was a beautiful sounding amp. But you were saying it was almost too polite.
Yeah, it's very polite. Like it just doesn't push. you know, and they're powerful.
But they're beautifully built.
Oh my
Like,
God.
It looks like a Meyer box.
Yeah.
Right.
Like it's built like a Meyer box.
Like this 12-inch, or was it a 10-inch?
It was about.
$4,000 for this box. $4,000. Right?
Was it that much?
Yeah, $3,300 in tax.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, $3,300 in tax, and the Fishman's $875.
Jesus,
Right.
God
Somebody's
sakes,
stomach
Jen.
is growling.
Was
Jack's
it the bean
snoring his
burrito
no,
or what?
Jack's snoring his ass off over there. But yeah, AER, they're tremendously good amps, but they just don't push.
The circuitry's probably beautiful. Like the DI.
Oh,
and
yeah.
all that is probably
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Yeah, they sound
So
incredible.
something in the voicing
Yeah,
is just
it just doesn't. It
too
just,
polite. That's a good
yeah.
way to
It
put
doesn't
it.
have as much presence, right? Which is really weird. And it's like the presence has presence, but it only has presence about 2 feet in front of the cabinet. When you get outside of that, it just washes out all over
goes
you.
away.
Fishman shoots out about 10 feet and hits you right and blows your pant legs, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we need. That's the old technology.
Jen's
AER.
blowing my pant legs from over there.
Jack's over there just bleh. He's laying on Jen too. Okay, Kid next. Jesus, he's tearing it up.
That's not Jack. That's the bean burrito
Nah, I
topic.
don't think so.
Eli Patrick Music
Eli Patrick Music, formerly Bluegrass.
says, "Good evening, all. What are your thoughts on 12-fret dreadnoughts, D18S, D28S, etc., as compared to the standard 14-fret dreadnoughts? Fiddle-dee-dee potatoes."
Fiddly dee potatoes.
I've answered this question multiple times, and
One more time won't hurt.
I'll just make it as quick as I can. I actually prefer the tone of 12-fret guitars because they do sound differently. The scales is slightly stranger. I don't know if it's different than a 14-fret, but it puts the bridge at a different place on the top, and that makes the strings softer, easier to play. And it just comes down to one thing: can you handle the loss of 2 frets? That's it. If you can't, don't play a 12. Go with a 14-fret guitar. If you are always up there playing like I am, I'm up there all the time, you're going to have to make concessions in order to use a 12-fret body guitar, right? And that's it. That's the answer. It's whatever your playing style is going to dictate whether or not you gravitate successfully to that length of neck. If not, then you've got to play a 14 because you're going to suffer. It's unbelievable how much, if you play up there, how much you miss it when it's gone. That's why my signature model, which is a 12-fret to body, has a cutaway. Then I don't mind. I can get 16, 18 frets up without touching the body. But on my other 12-fret Yogi that I absolutely love,
Jesus,
I sacrifice tunes every night. I have to take tunes out of the set because I can't play them. There's parts that are over the body. I can't do it. So
now if you were Dave, you'd want the 14 frets because with 12 frets, you're losing
1 fret.
half of the fretboard that you're used to playing on. Talk about capo corner.
Yeah.
That's capo corner back there.
Yeah, that's definitely cable corner. Yeah.
Yeah, geez,
What do you
thanks,
think,
guys.
Dave? How is it north of the 7th fret all the time?
I have a 12-fret guitar, that little one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and
right.
I love that
Yep.
guitar. It sounds beautiful
And you use that guitar on stage.
every night.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Except when I'm capoed really high.
That's a Ferk, right? Ferk.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Stonebridge, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's definitely sonically, I think there's an advantage to a 12-fret guitar.
We should compare a 12 and a 14.
It's easy to do. They're so different.
Yeah.
It's easy when you even hear one, you realize, oh,
That
that's
it's
a 12-fret
different.
guitar. Yeah. It's like the difference between a dreadnought and a slope shoulder guitar. You can tell. They just have a thing.
The box is
Is there more
different.
of
The
a
box
woody
is-
sound because of where the bridge is?
Bridges on the bottom?
I think so.
Like less of a pointed sound or
Yeah.
something?
I think that, there's less pressure on the strings too,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
They're shorter, which makes them less pressure.
Right.
There's less pull on the top. So, yeah, it's very interesting.
Less
Very
immediate
interesting.
sounding.
Why
Yeah,
are guitars
yeah.
so confusing?
I don't know. But just so guys like me can have to buy 55 of them, that's
Right.
fine. Okay, next.
We have a super chat from Gerard O'Connor.
Hey, Mr.
He's not
Ireland.
new.
No, he sure ain't.
Fiddly potatoes.
Ireland all the way.
He says, hey guys, what's the verdict on Yamaha FG5 versus Alvarez MD60 bluegrass guitars? And AER acoustic amps from Swiss made are great. Love these Wednesday podcasts. Keep going.
So it depends on what you want. The Alvarez bluegrass guitar has had a tremendous amount of success with people, and I had one, of course. I actually gave that guitar to Joe. Joe has that guitar, and if you want that type of guitar, which is basically Jack's just ripping it. If you want that type of guitar, that's just a Canon bluegrass guitar, then that's what you buy. If you want a dreadnought that is incredibly more versatile than that, then you buy the Yamaha, because they just are. I don't know why. It's because Alvarez, when they built that guitar, they built it to emulate an E28 herringbone, right? That's what it does. Those things are incredible. You can't really this whole channel started because I blind compared a real HT28 with that guitar.
The Alvarez.
Half the people couldn't tell which one was which. And that says something, right, about what Alvarez is able to do. And so that's what you'll get if you buy that guitar. If you want a guitar that has a dreadnought power, but also is accepting of different genres and different technique outside of just ripping flat pick, right? The Yamaha is the way to go.
So it's not a playability thing as such. It's
it's the feel of it. The feel
Excuse
of
me.
it. Jack's been up all day watching us record.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that either guitar is fantastic, but it depends on what you want it for. If you're gonna play Tony Rice or whatever, like straight hard bluegrass, get the Alvarez. If you want the guitar that can do that well and also everything else, the Yamaha is the way to go. Yeah, it's really weird how that works. I mean, I've had both guitars, and I love both of them, but there's certain things I gravitate to certain guitars in my collection to do certain things, whether it be types of music or types of tunes or type of technique or even tunings. Some guitars sound better in certain tunings than others, right? So there you go.
I think Jack needs a tune-up.
Jack needs something over there. He needs a snorkel or something. I don't know.
Jack needs the
Needs a
CPAP
CPAP
machine.
machine.
Just to give you a good example, I might as well do this because this guitar, to me, is just like the Yamahas. And because it's Japanese, right? They have this weird sensibility over there that a guitar can have tons of power, but also be very genteel, right? And this guitar, it's a Canon, right?
It's nice. Yeah.
But if you get soft on it, you hear the whole body ringing, right? Guitars that are braced and designed for bluegrass, they don't really do that.
They're a little clunkier sounding.
Hear the ring on that?
Yeah,
See
let
what I
it ring
mean?
for days.
Like when you ease up on it, it comes to meet you, right? And regular dreadnoughts just don't do that. This guitar, in my opinion, is supernatural, as the Yamahas and the Bouchers and the Gallaghers. Like this,
That's the
they're
Alvarez there.
That's the
yeah. This is
Alvarez,
the 45-year-old Honduran mahogany they didn't even know they owned, and they found a pallet of it and built a bunch of guitars out of it, and you'd never know that was a mahogany guitar. You'd think it was rosewood because it's so fat. But that's what I'm talking about. It can do both jobs, right? And if you get a dreadnought that's designed to be a dreadnought, chances are it doesn't do both jobs. It just does the one, and not the
Which one?
that one.
Okay, that one. All
It
right.
doesn't do the. It does Sam Kinison
Right.
and not
The Sam Kinison of
Clint
guitars.
Eastwood.
Yeah. Not
right.
Jack Nicholson.
No, no. Only does Sam Kinison.
Yeah.
So there you go. Good
right.
question. A very good question.
Ginjoid.
Ginjoid.
I got a super chat from Ian Rossiter.
Hey.
Ian Rossiter, good to see you, buddy.
Happy Wednesday.
Says, don't have
He's a
the
great
amp.
player, Ian. Tremendous player.
Don't have the amp, but the Radial PZ Pre has been amazing for me for like 10 years.
They're beautiful.
They
They're
are.
built in Canada.
Yeah. Anything Radial makes is nice.
high end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about that because I don't know a thing about
It's a
radio.
blue.
I know.
It's a dual channel. I think
Yeah.
it has two inputs. If it's the one I'm thinking of, and it's almost like the size of two DIs.
Yeah.
They're really good for acoustic. Be good for a dual system if you had the tip ring sleeve out in your guitar,
Right.
or if you're using two guitars, I suppose.
They make the tone bone too, don't they? For
Yep,
bass?
exactly. It's the same size as the
Same
tone
size
bone.
as the tone
That's
bone.
why I know the name.
Yeah.
Radials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the one he's talking about. And
Yeah.
They make great transformers. They make great DIs for acoustic guitars.
there's nice EQ options on that
Yeah.
box that
I was never. David is really educated on the potential of, floor based or rack mounted guitar processing. Like I remember the first time I ever saw you, you were playing through a GT10. Remember that big
oh
giant
yeah, when I was
blue.
playing pubs,
blue
I
one,
had,
yeah.
had a delay and
Yeah, it was incredible. Like, and he had the GT. That was really an electric setup,
Yeah.
right? But he had it programmed for
I had
his
it
acoustic.
I had it EQ'd for my acoustic guitar
Yeah.
to get rid of that feedback that was often around 125
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of notched it out, but
And it sounded so good. And I mean, we still, even to this day, David and I both use the same preamp, the Fishman Platinum Pro analog
yeah,
box. We both have one,
Yeah.
and that's what we normally use on stage now.
yep, yeah,
Just plug into that. It has compression. It has a tuner. It has all the EQ we need,
yeah,
and it's analog.
yeah,
It sounds so good. It's just they're really good, aren't they?
yeah, yeah.
And but I mean, it's strange. Talk about those things, but pickup differences have a lot to do with it as well. Because I always use K&K across the board. He uses
I'm an Anthem Stage Pro guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I use the Anthem.
LR bags.
LR bags. Always has.
It's a dual system with the microphone, and
Yeah.
the preamp is right on the guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of what I'm used to.
Yep.
You know,
And it's funny, you put those two different pickups through those Fishman boxes,
yeah.
and they just seem to bring the best out of both pickups.
I know.
You know what I mean?
The two guitars blend well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which goes to show, I guess, what Ian is saying. Like, if you trust the piece of gear you have and you know how to use it and it works with your pickup,
Yeah.
that's what you use.
That radial box, if it had a tuner built in it,
You'd
would
probably
be killer.
I'd have bought it.
yeah.
But the fish or the one we have, what is it? What's not Fishman?
Fishman,
Yeah,
Fishman Platinum,
yeah.
Platinum Plus.
That one
Platinum
has
Pro, yeah.
has a high pass filter on it.
Oh, yeah.
It has
A boost button.
low. It has low EQ. It has a flexible mid that you can adjust the frequency on.
Yep.
It has a high end and a presence.
Yep.
So it's like four
And
bands.
compression.
Yeah, which I never use.
I just put a little bit on.
I
once
yeah,
in a
I
while.
might put it on like 2 or something, but
It just seems to sweeten it somehow.
Smooth it a little.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
take the edge.
But then there's the notch filter, and it can also be voiced for bass.
That's right.
There's a switch on it, so
I think
Exactly.
you hit a really good point, which was you've got to know the gear you're playing through, be
Right.
comfortable with it,
yeah,
Exactly.
and know how to get the best out of it.
Yeah.
If I had a dime for every time somebody asked me, what does Dave use for, how does he get his sound?
Right.
Because you do have a very unique guitar sound.
He does. One of the
And
best, in my opinion.
You've been using those bag setups in your guitars. How big is the stack of cutouts that I have
yeah.
yeah.
in my toolbox, right, from all those guitars?
Pieces of wood out of the
Yeah.
side of Dave's guitars.
And
right?
some of
Yeah.
them go back, what, 15, 20 years
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
But you know that thing inside and out because when you
Just
have
what I'm used to.
it's what you're used to, but it's what your guitars are used to.
It's the sucky blanket I'm used to.
Yeah.
It's true. It's it's amazing what you. You get a. I hate to call it a brand loyalty, but it is in a way. But I mean, I've been using K&K for so long and have never had any of them fail in any way. There's just every single one that I have put in guitars, and I've probably put in 50 of them over the years, right? Over all these different guitars I've had, and everyone in this room has one, just about, except this one doesn't have anything. I'm going to put one in this pretty soon. You get to the point where you're like, I know exactly what this is going to sound like.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you're the same way.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing too, not that anything is bad about the Bags preamps at all, but the K&K is so bulletproof because the only moving
nothing to
part
it.
is the only moving part is the jack.
Exactly.
And jacks go. It's the same jack as LR Bags uses and everybody else uses in their guitars, so they can go bad. But with the Bags, you do have electronics on board. You've
Other
got batteries to go
components,
dead.
yeah.
You've got pots and switches.
I haven't had any of the new anthems go yet.
No.
You've had to fix my older generation iMix
Yeah.
preamps.
Yeah.
But,
And it also comes down to a lot of, how you play a guitar. Like David and I are different styles and different attacks and different. He uses medium gauge. I use light. He uses a softer pick than me sometimes. And just attack and how we play.
He only uses the upper third of the neck.
I don't like to brag.
He likes to brag. He likes to disappoint. He likes to disappoint his guitars one
Actually,
at a time.
Yeah.
yours
that's right,
yours
yeah.
is more. JP's is.
But it is. It's very. What works for me and him might not work for everybody, right? You have to do what you know works and try. You have to try it. It isn't something you can just, if somebody says, "Well, go out and get an Anthem, Pro Mix, whatever," the Stage Pro Anthem.
Yeah.
That might not be what you
No.
get on stage and go, "Well, crap, this is way too much power for me. Way too much."
Well,
You know
the
what I
guitar
mean?
sounds different, but I still need to work on my chorus.
So yeah, it's and that's the beauty of guitar playing, is that it's so subjective, right? And everybody that comes to the table has another idea that you can learn from. Because you're never 100% right about anything. Right?
You would rely more heavily on your EQ controls on your Fishman amp.
Yeah.
Whereas Dave can rely somewhat on his tone controls right on board the guitar,
Yeah.
which
Yep.
you like.
My last 4 shows I did in PEI, I actually had left my acoustic gear in
Oh my
JP's
God,
trunk.
yeah.
So I
Yeah.
just plugged into a DI. When I would get to the trail side, I just plugged right into a DI. And
Yeah.
same thing at
Off you
Shaw's Hotel, and it was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you can do that. You know how.
Well,
I've seen you do it 100 times. So we better move on. Connects.
We have a super chat from Mark Smith.
Mark Smith, welcome, my friend.
So Dave, what's your favorite song to play with JP live? And JP, what's your favorite song to play with Dave? You guys
a good
always look
question.
like you're having a blast together when you play. I love it.
any song. I don't have one favorite song.
Me neither.
Because there's always moments in every single song. Like one moment is in Songbird Valley, that last chorus when we just start singing our hearts out, and it's almost like you can't even remember that you're playing the guitar, or
No.
everything is just about the moment. And I don't know, for me anyway.
It's the same way. Every time I've been in this business for 39 years now, and
You
there's
should be a lot better than you
I
are,
should
really.
I should be way better than I am.
I love you guys.
Yeah. And I'll tell you one thing too. Of all the guys that ever mixed me, boy, he's certainly one of them.
Well, I'm the best in my price range for sure.
Yeah. And but no, seriously, playing with Dave, we've done all kinds of different music together. We've done his music and my music and
Other people's music.
other people's music, but when we finally decided to make that record and create a situation where we could actually perform our music, stuff that we made together as a duo, it's a magic thing.
The
It
sum is greater than the parts.
Way greater. Way greater. I think that us together is a third artist. You know what I mean? There's a third voice.
Well, there's enough of you for a third artist. I'm sorry. I was there. I was just laying there.
Well,
Sorry.
I guess I'll have some scotch.
I might refresh my drink.
Yeah,
How
you
doing,
should do
Dave?
that.
Not too bad. I might go grab another beer. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah,
the
you
dishes
should
while
do
you're
that.
over there, would you?
Yeah.
You know,
I think you do the dishes with the whiskey.
yeah. Chris,
Yes, JP.
it's perhaps time to tell you that you were adopted.
Oh. Well,
Yeah, and because
that changes things.
you were born in a zoo in Cincinnati, and
Here I thought I was Irish this whole time.
yeah, unfortunately, it's, yeah. So,
Wow. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. I don't quite know what to do with that. I'll
well,
have
also,
to contemplate that late tonight.
well, while you should probably have a nice Westinghouse Golden Deluxe biscuit.
Oh, they are so good.
So
I'm
good.
enjoying one right now.
Yeah.
Would you like to know the next question?
Connect.
It's a super chat from Caleb Hawkins.
From who?
Caleb Hawkins.
Caleb Hawkins. Welcome back.
And I'm definitely going to say this guitar wrong. It's just a thing. Have you tried a Halcyon?
Halcyon.
Halcyon? Okay. Made in Canada, fairly priced, I believe. Just I have not found one here to try in the States.
Jesus, I've never heard of those.
Halcyon?
No. I got to write that down. That's good. And you say they're made in Canada.
What am I hearing?
I believe Dave's trying
Oh.
to tone bone the chicken, rubber
I
chicken.
see.
Okay, I'm going to look that up because I have no idea.
You don't want to know what's going on over here.
Oh, dear.
Jesus Christ, boys.
Yeah. Wow. Dave Gunning, ladies and gentlemen.
He's
The
here all
pride
week.
of Pictou.
He's here all week.
Yeah, the pride of
Yeah,
Pictou.
the Prince of Pictou over there.
Sorry.
Yeah, fingerprints.
Fingerprints the crowd.
You guys are doing good.
Yeah. CSI the clown over there.
DNA.
DNA the
Okay,
clown.
that's enough clowns. Okay,
Uh-oh, Mom's getting mad again.
Oh, Jesus.
focus. We have a
What?
super chat from Kevin
Oh, my God. Kevin who?
O'Hanley.
Kevin O'Hanley.
Kevin O'Hanley.
How you doing, buddy?
What are your thoughts on the compensated banjo bridges?
If you need one, use it. You know the ones he's talking about? So, like the banjo bridge is usually straight, right?
Right.
They got ones where the G string is here and the D string is back. The middle G is way back, and then
Yeah.
it starts to go the other way.
Yeah.
So, I believe that it's only certain types of banjos with certain type of neck problems, right, that require those.
Can benefit from it.
Yes, and if your banjo is one of those ones, then use one. They don't have any positive or negative of any other kind except changing the intonation of the strings. So if you've got a problem in your middle G where it's sharp all the time and you can't get it right, and it's caused from the head dipping somewhat, right, or the tailpiece being
Wallowing around. Yeah.
right? So you just can never tell what banjo really even needs one until you put it on and go, oh, that sounds better.
Do you have one of those, Kevin, or are you just asking?
He has a Gibson Masterton.
Right.
I think you have one. And there's probably a good reason for it. That banjo's really old. And that would be the one that would have a little bit wonky, right?
It's like a pub crawl in here.
Well, what I want to know is why that there's also there's all sorts of really poison things going on here with rubber chickens and vibrators and
Listen,
Jesus Christ,
that's
boys.
that's
a tone
a
right.
sponsored event. That's the
That is a-
tone right.
Yeah, you
There's a
realize you're
piece of
putting a
guitar
rubber
gear.
chicken on top of my D'Addario equipment, right? Okay, good. All right, connects.
It's not gonna hurt it.
Sorry, D'Addario, we
got a
still love you.
Super chat from Boucher J.
Boucher J. I wonder if that has anything to do with Boucher guitars. Probably
I
not.
don't think so.
No.
Um,
Good name though.
good advice. I just purchased an FG5 from Fantasy. and getting them to install a K&K. Grabbing it this weekend. Thanks for the recommendation, JP. Cheers.
Awesome.
That's a good combination.
Yes, sir. Boy, that's going to be some guitar. You will never regret that. One thing about Yamahas, and I don't care what they are, whether they're $300 or $5,000, it is what the hell.
Wow.
There's a lot going on over there. You just can't beat them. They will stay together and play for longer than you'll be alive. And those F series guitars, they're built in Hamamatsu at the shop where the master luthier works. And
Giggles the clown.
yeah,
If you look at me,
Flopsy the clown over there, and you just can't beat them. You can't beat them. I got one sitting over there. I'll never part with it. The only thing I regret about that guitar is it's got their electronics in it, which is not a bad thing.
No,
their electronics sound really good. The Acoustic feel, they call it, and it's beautiful. It's a dual source system.
the new Acoustic sonically perfect.
Except when playing Lawrence Welk covers. And occasionally the odd Marg Osborne song from the Don Messer years on CBC.
So real sounding, it's almost like you're there playing it.
Yes. So real, your friends will be fooled. You too can amaze your friends and colleagues.
Sponsored and endorsed by Esteban.
Yes. Makers of fine American instruments.
Using real wood.
Real wood tone. Connect.
All right, we have a question from the Marshall Miller Band.
Now that's new. Marshall Miller Band. That's awesome.
I've never stumbled over that.
Cheers. Thank you very much. It's awesome. There's a band talking to us. Cool.
They sound like a bluegrass band.
They could be.
Yeah.
They could also be a bunch of Louisiana Cajuns too. Sounds like a good Louisiana name. Connect.
Can I ask the question, or
Yes,
do you want
that's
me to move
what I'm saying. Connect.
Don't pick
No,
on Mom.
fuck him. Just go on to the next guy. No, go ahead. Sorry.
It's a gang. They
it's a
can
game.
show
Oh
up
yeah,
there.
they might kick my ass.
Better
Yeah,
answer.
okay, go ahead.
It says, hey JP, which way do I turn the truss rod to lower the action a bit?
You want to turn it to the clockwise, and be careful. You only turn it a quarter turn, literally. If you get the wrench at noon, turn it to 1 o'clock, and then wait about 10 minutes and play it. If it's not low enough, you turn it again from noon to 1 o'clock, or 1 o'clock to 2, wherever you have to, because you won't be able to control whether the handle's straight or whatever.
Only turn it 5 minutes at a time.
5 minutes at a time. Yeah, so a quarter turn, boom to boom.
Let it settle.
And let it settle, and check the whole neck, because depending on the guitar you're dealing with, it may have if it has a two-way system, it means it's going to pull the entire neck back at an angle. If it's a one-way system, it means it's straightening and flattening a curve that's in the neck from about the 4th fret to the 9th fret. That's a one-way system that only can pull the neck back, and if you let it off, it'll come forward. But a two-way system will actually pull the whole neck forward or back, and it's much better. Like, two-way systems are gorgeous. Yeah. This is a two-way system, and like once you get that truss system where it should be, the neck is the angle you want, man, it'll change your life.
And don't force it if it doesn't want to turn.
Well, that's not entirely true. If it's never been turned,
it'll be a little sticky.
Yes.
But
oh yeah, if it's like if you have to ream it, like
then take it to somebody.
Yeah, don't do that. But if it's never been turned, it's amazing to me how many guitars I've picked up and put and because I always do my necks, right? I like my necks almost like my necks are 98% straight. That's the action I need, right, to get the speed I want. So it's amazing to me how many guitars I've picked up, and you put the truss key in, the Allen key, and it's loose. It's not even engaged, right? They just put it in there hand tight.
Yeah.
And you have to tighten it, until it comes tight.
I think
then,
I've heard them actually rattle it.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
The
rattling?
bolt's rattling around because it's not tight. Yeah. So you've got that to contend with. It may be completely disengaged, so you have to tighten it so it's hand tight, right? And then, if it's too tight, like he said, don't touch it. And the third thing is you may pull that wrench in there, and it's never been used. And when you first turn it, it goes crack.
Because
It's
letting go.
Because it's never been used.
Yeah.
Don't be alarmed by that. That's what it's supposed to do.
Go slow.
Just
be
go
careful.
slow, yeah.
Don't force it.
Yeah. If it makes a really loud noise, it just means it's never been used.
Or you've just cracked the neck
Or and you should probably just go jump
in the lake.
in the lake and swim around with.
What do you think, Clucko?
With the turtles?
Dave is amused.
I don't know how much more of this I could take, boys. I'm telling you.
He's just trying to tenderize him.
He's tenderizing something over there. I don't know.
Look him in the eyes for a second.
Yeah. Jesus, boys.
We have a question for Dave
Oh boy.
from Caper Away.
Hey, caper away.
Caper away. How you doing? Good to see you.
And he says, "Can you do a John Allen tune on Saturday night at the Union Street Cafe?"
I will.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Consider it done.
Cool.
Which night? Friday?
Saturday.
Saturday.
Yep.
Dave Gunning, everybody. He's here all week.
Union Street Saturday night?
Friday and Saturday.
Where are you now?
Yep.
He actually gets gigs.
Look at you go.
Yeah. Yeah. He's actually playing in front of people now.
Apple capital of the world.
That's right.
Wow.
There's a lot,
That's the state of affairs in Pictou, ladies
there's a
and
lot
gentlemen.
happening. There's a lot happening on the end of the
Yeah,
table.
big
over
night
there.
out in the city here. It's okay.
Connects, please save us, Ginger.
We have a super chat from Larry Reinders.
Dave.
Larry Reinders, how you doing, my friend?
Where's Larry's song?
Hey, Larry.
Oh,
There you go.
Larry Reinders is the shit.
He's the good shit.
He's really, really it.
Not long and runny shit.
Larry Reinders is my hero.
Just like Robert De Niro.
Because he's been here when we were a zero. He deserves a pretty minor chord.
Do you think he drives a Ford?
Probably. I'm ripping off old Waylon. And this is smooth sailing. Now that's a new one.
Hey, Larry.
3-part harmony,
It's in
Larry
the
Reinders.
potatoes.
Awesome guy.
He is an awesome guy. Bless your heart, buddy. Thanks for being here for like a year with us. A year and a half.
If there were more Larrys in the world, things
Everything would be better. Same as Cam. Where the hell is Cam?
I don't know. I haven't seen him yet.
Goddamn Cam McMaster. Okay, connects. What's he got?
So Larry is a comment. He says,
Yes.
"This show is so very good for the soul. Ginger's laugh is priceless. We love Dave Gunning."
Who doesn't love Dave Gunning?
You know, we all
We
have
love
our
Larry
special.
Reinders.
We
We
all
love
have our
Larry
special
Reinders.
little friends that we
Yeah.
have to love. Attaboy. You just keep going, okay?
How did he get that thing plugged in?
Chris plugged it in.
I actually plugged it in
Oh, Jesus.
just to check it out.
All right, connects.
A super chat from Jim.
Jim Hanlon. In the house.
Are you
Jimmy,
impressed that I
triple-
found your
Jimmy, I ordered 3 more K&Ks today.
Oh,
So they're on their way.
nice. And your pin is safe and sound.
Yes.
You know where it was?
Jim,
Where?
Wait. Oh, actually, his question is, where'd you find the bridge pin?
Yeah, the bridge pin was in the little jar of soldering flux.
Oh my
sitting
God.
right there.
wow.
My God.
Yeah, and the flux is brown, and the pin is almost the exact same color, and that's
Yeah.
why we never saw it.
I was tuning his guitar and a pin flew out
Wow.
Yeah.
and bounced against the wall. We couldn't find it on
and
the
we
bench,
looked
right?
everywhere in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got her though. Next.
We have a question from Mr. Kenny Holden.
Kenny
How
Holden,
you doing, buddy?
I missed you on the weekend, Kenny. A little more notice the next time. Sorry, buddy.
You're supposed to always be home.
Yeah, well, you know, conjugal visits and all.
Oh, jeez. All right. So, what do you think of adjustable bridges on acoustics?
I think that those types of guitars are readily available for anybody that wants to go canoeing and doesn't have a paddle. And if you don't want to do that, then they're really good actually for you know, if you're in the woods and it's a biologically secure area and you have to take a shit in the guitar. is a
Don't
safe
hold back.
place.
Tell us
Don't
what you
hold
really
back.
feel.
Just shit in it, and then after that, you can use it to start
Grow
a fucking
mushrooms.
fire.
Other than that, they're great.
Yeah,
It's
lovely.
not the 1940s anymore, Kenny.
Yeah. They're garbage. It's horrible thing to do to a guitar, but it was at a time when companies were trying to make guitars that were as easily adjustable as an electric.
Mm-hmm.
So they put adjustable bridges in so that you could do that.
Yeah.
But in turn, they destroyed the guitar because there's a giant piece of fucking metal in the bridge.
What kind of metal?
Giant.
Oh, giant piece of metal. Okay.
What
So
was that adjective again?
the only way to fix that problem is pull the whole bridge off and replace the bridge and put a real bridge on it and a real saddle.
Why did they make them that way?
I just
What was the
said
idea?
they were trying to make them easily adjustable
Because
for,
they didn't
for
have
elect-
truss rods.
Yeah, and they didn't have truss rods.
That's the reason.
Exactly.
That's
It
yeah.
was a
probably-
technology thing
Yeah.
back in the day.
So it was
I
complete. It was a complete technological requirement because they didn't have any other tech.
yeah.
But I mean, now mind you, I've actually heard guitars that have those bridges that sound pretty
Elvis
good.
played one. Johnny
Yeah.
Cash played
Yep,
one.
he did.
They're some of their first
Yep,
guitars.
he did.
Yeah.
And those guitars, those old vintage guitars, man, like you remember Pan? Remember that
I
guitar?
had a Pan.
Yeah, I had a Pan bass.
Yeah.
And my buddy had a Pan flat top, and it had
Guys
an
are
adjustable. Oh yeah, we're older than dirt. I'm so old that when I was a kid, rainbows were black and white.
Oh dear.
Wow.
I got a personally autographed copy of the Bible. Dave's having way too much fun over there.
I don't know who's enjoying it more, the chicken or Dave.
Yeah, I know. But in all honesty, if you have a guitar that has that, and it sounds really good, don't bother. Leave it. If it works, it works. But if you have a guitar that has one and it sounds like shit, get rid of the guitar because it's more expensive to replace the bridge than it is to buy another
Yeah.
guitar. It costs you $500 to put a new bridge on a guitar like that.
Yeah.
If you can find one that fits it, depending on who built it. But again, if it works, don't touch it. If it doesn't work, just get another guitar.
And if you don't have one, don't buy one.
Yeah.
And next time, couple days notice, and we'll put a K&K in your Morgan that you just bought.
That's right. Next,
Jason Brooks.
Jason Brooks.
He must be new.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Is he? Ginger?
I'm not sure on that one.
Oh,
I wasn't sure.
stumped the ginger.
Yeah. Now I was just scared to say anything.
I'm just not sure. Not positive. So George Grun?
George Grun.
Grun? Okay. In an interview said that even though they sell vintage guitars, he said they make great guitars today that are fantastic. With the torrefied system, what is the desire for vintage?
Experience.
You want to know what? No, I'm going to make a lot of enemies right now. Vintage guitars are fine, obviously. To own something that is still playable after 80 years, right, or whatever it might
or
be.
sounds like that.
Or, yeah. But in all honesty, from a player's perspective, a touring player's perspective, I would never want to have a guitar with me that was in danger of being destroyed by the elements or by regular wear and tear because things just aren't the same now as they were when those guitars were built and when they were valuable and still are. Like people, when you buy a vintage instrument, you're buying someone else's heartbreak. You never buy a vintage guitar that's in good shape. And if you do, it doesn't stay that way long, right? You
Not
have
if
to
you're using it all the time.
Yeah, you have to maintain them and maintain them and maintain them. And it's just, to me, I would never spend that kind of Jesus, Jed. I would never spend that kind of money. I just can't see it, right?
They're great as a collector's item.
Yeah.
And they're great to play with at home.
Yep.
Or record with even.
Yep.
But
Incredible.
for touring, they're-
Incredible.
Yeah.
But for me, the guitar is a tool. So
Yeah.
for me to go spend 50 grand.
So's he.
Yeah, but he's a good tool. you go, and that's what these things are going for. If I wanted to go buy a 1955 or 53 D18, I'm looking at 50 grand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm serious. That's what they cost: $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 for a D28 herringbone Brazilian that was pre-war, whatever it is. It's astronomical amount
I'd
of
never
money.
paid that much for Brazilian.
Think of the difference in the technology.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's spread over to the ginger now.
Yeah. She's got the infection now.
And George Gruen said it right. What is the desire for vintage guitars now that torrefaction is literally vintageizing guitar.
The
You
great
really
equalizer.
can. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, I've played vintage guitars. I've played guitars from the 40s and 30s, 40s, 50s. I have guitars in this room that are torrefied that sound just like them. And it's subtle. It's something a guitar player can only hear almost, right? The way that
Why are you looking at him? Sorry, JP. I didn't mean to interrupt your serious point there.
But anyhow, if you want to spend money on a vintage guitar, do it. If you have that kind of cash, do it.
Yeah.
But be aware that you're buying someone else's problems. No vintage guitar ever comes to the new owner in perfect working order or being able to stay that way. It's just not possible. Jesus Christ, boys.
Would it be fair to say that the two of us as a pair are
Distracted.
bad for your concentration?
Well, no, I'm doing fine because now I'm used to you.
He's plowing through it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think he's about a 6 out of 10 right now.
6 out of 10.
He's just starting to warm up over there. You can
So, how many? We got super
We
chats
have
left.
two questions.
Let's have them. We're gonna go to the. We're gonna go
do
to
it
the
before
draw.
JP loses it.
So the first one's from Highland Trekker.
Highland
Oh,
Trekker?
we've had that before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
He says, since this is string theory, do different gauges of strings really add more or less bottom end to your guitar?
Absolutely. And you'd be surprised the way that it actually goes. Sometimes a medium gauge string on a guitar can throttle it, and a light gauge will produce more volume and more bass. It depends on the guitar.
The top, the bracing.
The bracing, the
Yeah.
top, and all these things. Even the bridge material, end pin material, all that stuff.
Talk about people mixing weights of strings.
Oh, yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I
You
use
make a custom.
I use light mediums,
Yeah.
but when I'm playing with you, sometimes I'll use full-on mediums because I'm down a semitone.
Right.
My whole guitar
You're
is down.
telling me.
Yeah.
But it's true. What was the question?
Strings,
The
gauges.
strings.
Oh,
add
yeah,
bottom
right.
end.
So, yeah. I mean, it's true. You can... It really is surprising, and the only way to find out is to just put the two different gauges on your guitar and perhaps play a show or record it and hear the difference. And you'll hear the different penetration, the different volume, the different... I hope to God they can actually hear that.
Do you ever
I hope that's
mix-
going over the mic.
Do you ever mix your strings?
No.
Never.
No. I just I find it it's confusing for the action, like because you use a different attack for a medium gauge string than you do a light gauge. So if I was using heavy tops like he does and light bottom, I couldn't I wouldn't be able to keep my shit together.
Yeah.
Playing all 6 strings, I would be
Let's go leave that
playing
off.
the bottom. Be playing the bottom 3 too hard. The 2
Top ones.
Hard.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Connect. Let's get the fuck
so
out of here
super chat
before we all blow up.
Jamie Reed.
Jamie Reed.
He
how
must
you
be
doing,
new.
buddy?
No.
No. Okay. Hi, Jamie.
Hey boys, hope yous are good.
We are.
I think we are.
String theory makes my week. Always glad to tune in. Good to see Dave back. Cheers, boys.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Jamie. It's wonderful to sit and commiserate with all of you.
Yes, and don't forget to donate to this week's charity, the Chris Coote Green Tomato
Fund.
Fund. Yes.
Funding Green tomatoes for
Everywhere. Yes,
and
yes.
everyone.
Yes, that's right.
Yes. Great in chow chow.
A pickle fried.
A green tomato sandwich.
That's correct. And not picking them off the goddamn tree.
Like an arsehole.
Like an arsehole.
Before they're
Yes,
ripe.
Exactly. Thank you.
I'd love to enjoy one right now.
Perhaps we should have a Weston's golden butter biscuit.
Oh boy, could I?
All right, so we thank you very much.
Tomatoes.
Listen,
You still got 30 seconds to go.
we are 2
2,
weeks
3,
away
4.
from the grand prize draw, which is at Fantasy Music, which will be the THR 30 Mark II Yamaha Acoustic amp, the Tone Right.
the only,
The only time you ever do the Tone Right, and a 30-minute Zoom lesson with me on any instrument that you would like, including a burrito recipe I know. And so I don't even have a question.
What?
Think fast.
Okay, I got a question. I told you guys who was recording with me here in the studio.
It's Jen. She's right over there. You forgot that quick?
And then
All right. See
oh
now.
dear.
Oh my god.
So, okay.
You can always count on Coop.
Question number 2. What gauge strings do I use?
So this is the real question. This is the
Yeah,
question
this is
for all
the,
the
and I want the actual numbers. I want the numbers from the top E and low E. What is the gauge of string that I use?
Demanding.
Is it 1253?
That's correct. Who is that?
Boucher J was first.
Oh,
Boucher
new guy.
Not
Boucher.
new.
Well, he's new to the contest. Boucher who?
Jay.
Jay, right, sorry. Boucher J, you're getting the fantasy prize, which will be a beautiful little leather pick case and an assortment of picks and a set of excess acoustic or electric strings, whichever you prefer. Send me an email right now to jpcormier38@gmail.com. jpcormier38@gmail.com. I'll forward you on to Stephen McNeil, not the premier,
The musical premier.
the musical premier of Nova Scotia, at Fantasy Music in Halifax. And who's next? Who's next?
Did Catfish already win
Yes.
recently?
Yep.
Yeah?
He's two weeks ago.
Okay. Robert Ballou.
Oh, that's a new one.
Spell that.
Robert
Ballew.
Ballew.
Billy.
Mr. Ballou, you are getting the G&G package, which will be the beautiful Levy's leather strap embossed with String Theory logo on it. Picks, strings, and both of these shops, when you contact them, they always have deals for our String Theory people. I think Fantasy does tax-free if you're in-store. G&G, Glenn always has deals on wicked guitars. Like he has deals on Boucher, he has deals on Martins, he has deals on whatever. He will just ship and sell anything you want.
The most music store per square feet.
That's correct.
Anywhere.
And Stephen McNeil's the same way. The man is a tremendous shop in Halifax. And to be honest with you, as much as I love L&M, Long and McQuaid, there are, they support us right across country. They just opened another store in Truro.
Really?
Yes,
Where?
which on Roby Street.
Okay.
So they have a new store that's in between our two shops. So we really got to get behind our two shops because we don't want to lose them. They're great shops and they're one of a kind stores.
They live, eat, sleep, breathe, cook.
That's right.
And strum.
And as much as Long and McQuaid supports us and love them to death, they're a great chain and have supported me. We also have to keep the small independent shops open. It's just healthy for the industry.
Yeah.
So
And it's healthy when you're in Antigonish.
That's
and need some backup at the last
and
minute.
there's Glenn.
And there's
right?
Glenn.
Yep.
Yeah.
So support our big chain, but support the little fella as well because we can't. They are doing things that the big chains
Just can't.
aren't able to do because they have
Big chains, little fella.
That's right.
Right.
Big chains.
Support the
Big chains.
little fella.
There you go. There's a big difference there. So, cue the music. Cue the music.
Next. at that.
Oh,
A gift from Jen Foot.
Look at that.
beautiful.
Connects.
Holy shit, that's fantastic.
Oh, I put it on with
This is
oh,
awesome.
Okay. There you go.
Wow.
So I want you to keep a close eye out. I want you to keep a close eye out for Miss Jen Foot's upcoming record that's just about halfway through the process here this week. Because she is awesome. And yeah, we didn't throw her into the mix here tonight because we were afraid. And you can see why.
Gotta hang with the big dogs, Jen. Have a good week, everybody.